The button, Mo. Hit the button.
It's on the button.
It's time to record, Mo.
Hit the goddamn button.
See, that's what I'm talking. So you better bleep that out. You got people that get very uptight about certain things that we say.
You don't remember about the you don't know what movie that was from?
Yeah, bro, Rush Hour.
Hit the button. Hit the button.
Hit the button. what was the little girl's name?
If you remember the name,
I was
that's
about to say, bro. My dome is about to say Nia Long.
Oh my god, definitely not Nia. Definitely not Miss Long.
No, not Nia. Nia Long. Or it was like May or something like that.
It was. He said Nia Long.
No, not Nia Long. Nia Long.
All right.
Nia Long.
What's that, man?
Nah, man, but bro, yo. First off, I just want to say you need a little bit of comedy in your life to kind of balance out the craziness that is going on in the world today. Like, it's wild.
I would agree.
Baffling, bro. Every time you get on I stopped watching TV because every time I come to TV or cut on news, you either bombarded by stupid commercials or by horrible news. It's very rare that we get good, enjoyable news of people doing dope things, and you know it's a constant battle of trying to protect what you actually put into your brain. Yeah, we had the live today.
Yeah, we did talk about that.
And you said that was I like that. What can you like recap for everybody what you said?
Yeah, no, we had a live with Sister Basha. We're definitely gonna be plugging her in later, but what she was talking about was just self-care and those daily reminders, just feeding yourself positive thoughts and saying that, you know, you're a great individual and that, you know, that you forgive yourself. So I thought that was very important because it was those small, subtle, like, reassurance of that you're doing okay in life, you know, and you bring other people up and you really want people to do well, but why don't you put that same emphasis on yourself? So that's what I kind of really liked about what she said that. But anyway, going back to your point.
Some other thoughts.
Yeah, so going back to your point, so what I was saying was that I was a post on Instagram, so I cannot take the credit. What it was saying is that you feed. It says what you feed your body in regards to food is what kind of builds the body, and what you feed your mind in regards to thoughts is what kind of propels and strengthens it. So if you have positive thoughts.
Jim Carrey.
Was that Jim Carrey?
Yeah, I saw that quote.
Okay, today. But you know what's funny?
Man, somebody spread fast, bro.
Somebody posted, but it didn't like have his name on it. So
but you know what? You know what, bro? But we live in a culture now where it's meme culture. Like we literally
in quotes, we
get our news out off of memes.
Yeah.
And you know who was the first meme?
Yeah, actually, who did the first meme?
You want to know who did the first meme? You really want to know? Think. First meme. Newspapers, bro. Headlines.
Oh.
Headlines are the first memes. They put a picture up there, and they put it up there.
The first meme was like political cartoons, probably.
No. Because political cartoons, there's a beginning, middle, and end. Meme, all the information is a headline.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Meme is just it's a picture with a headline.
Good point.
So the first meme was the news.
Like I said, a lot of people now get their news from social media platforms.
Memes.
So
we're back to memes.
So like you said, with with everything that happened on, especially these past 48 hours.
Not past couple of weeks.
Yeah, past couple of weeks, everything's going on in the world, and then people getting the information from Facebook, and with all these different, you know, hacks and all this Russian meddling, you don't even know what to trust anymore, you know. So you got to definitely do your research on the right.
Russian
you definitely got to do your research on the facts that you see.
It's hard. It's hard to do research because it's hard to decipher what is fact and what is fiction, because there's so many news outlets, there's so many social media personalities and news outlets that are giving us all this information. It's very difficult to get fact, and I think that there are people who have a special ability to do good research. Like, there are a few people that know how to do very good, well-defined research. And so it's up for us to learn how they get their research. What are credible sources? How can you tell if a source is credible? Remember we did the live with Nasima?
Yeah.
And that's what she was telling us. She was saying that you have to search the credible sources. You know, after you read an article, you go down to the bottom,
you're
look
responsible.
At the sources, but then you have to go and research all of those sources. So really, I think that's what it comes down to. It comes down to putting in the time to look at the sources that you get information from. But before we continue on, Muhammad.
Yes. Let's open this bad boy up.
I mean,
let's go, baby.
Right,
3.
Whoa,
okay, well, hold on.
I gotta get ready.
Get ready. Roll your boat.
Let's get
gently
it.
down
Ready?
the stream.
Woo, woo, woo. Let's get it.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, I think I can.
Let's do this.
All right, baby. 3, 2, 1.
What's going on, everybody? This is Jabril Salam.
And Muhammad Hassan.
And you are listening to the Young and Muslim Podcast.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Shout out to all the new listeners. And welcome back to everybody that's
you
been
know what I
around.
gotta do. You know what I gotta do, Mo, right?
Hit them with it.
Yes,
Sometimes I even forget you got that second part.
you
to be honest with
forgot that. You just keep going. You keep rolling with it. But, dude, we have to start the podcast.
It's officially started now. We are kicked off, brother, and feeling good, alhamdulillah.
As you were saying, just to follow up with you,
Yes.
shout out to all the new listeners. Shout out to all the new followers.
Shout out.
You guys, I just want to say, I think both of us want to say
Yes.
a big, resounding thank you.
Gracias.
Because you guys have been killing us on social media, blowing our pages up. You guys have been hitting the like button on YouTube. You guys have been subscribing on
Been
YouTube.
phenomenal.
Oh,
phenomenal.
my goodness. Mashallah. Thank you
The
so much,
YouTube
guys.
community is growing so much, man.
Yeah. No, it's dope, man. Look, somebody told us, yo, do you care about the numbers? And yeah, numbers are cool, but what's more cool is being able to get the chance to talk and correspond with a lot of you people. You know what I'm saying? Like to be able to go back and forth and see what you guys are posting and see what you guys like, or when you comment or so forth, when you send us DMs, like that's what really brings us that feeling of like, yo, like we're building a community of young, thriving, creative individuals that want to not only get content but are creating content or are engaged with what's going on in the world. And it's very, very inspiring to see that. So thank you guys, because you guys give us energy.
Not only that, I mean, thank you for the people that hopped on the Instagram live that we just had, because sometimes we don't see all those new, followers that join the family until the live comes around. You know, they're like, hey, assalamu alaikum, I'm calling in from Nigeria, calling in from Barbados, whatever, Niger, you know what it is, From there, we figure out where our audience is from, and they kind of introduce themselves. So that's why I like the Instagram Live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. because that's almost like I think we're getting very used to this, but that's almost like a real time face-to-face plug-in with our audience. It's
not. I mean, well, for us it's face-to-face, but when we do the lives with our audience, that's when it's like, okay, like we got some people. The first one we did was good, but we want you guys to tune in more.
Some people don't know about that yet.
Yeah, exactly. So every Tuesday we go live. Typically it's with a guest. However, sometimes we will decide that we will go live on a different day, and then we'll go live with you guys. So we give everyone in our audience and our family the opportunity to actually request, come live with us. We talk. It's a good time. It's a great time. Listen to your story, learn more about you. And that's what I'm saying. It's a two-way street.
Yes, and we will give you a heads up when we do that. Don't worry. So you can prep.
Yeah. So this episode, guys, which is going to be an episode that we haven't done in a while.
Right. Very long time.
We're going to do a few things this episode.
Hit them with it.
We're going to be doing shout-outs.
Boom.
We're going to be doing updates.
Boom.
And then, of course, we have to do the news.
Boom, boom, boom.
The news at the moment, as we said in the beginning, listen, it has been the greatest.
Yeah, no, especially recently.
However, it is important that we do try our best to learn facts and then present them. Now,
and to find the good.
Yeah, and then to also find the good that's happening in the world, because right now it's very easy to sit on the negative and to look at all the bad going on in the world. However, there's so many individuals, so many creatives, so many people within our ummah, within our community who are doing amazing things, and we want to make sure that they get the limelight that they deserve.
Right, at a minimum, dude.
Absolutely.
At a minimum. So we're going to kick it off right in the order that you kind of described.
Well, do you want to do updates first? Like, I want to do updates.
Okay, let's do updates because that's
because we were off the map for a little bit, and people didn't understand why. We were off the map for about a week, a couple weeks ago, because we were actually out in Florida. We flew out there with our brothers and sisters of Camp Khalil.
Yep.
Shout out to Brother Hanif and Sister Baina.
Shout out.
This is their 17th. Is their 16th?
16th year.
16th year.
16th year.
16, baby. That is a long time.
That's a long time for anything.
Right? But to run a camp and for it to be growing and prospering so it was their 16th year. They invited us out to come and speak. We spoke on the power of social media and how you can tell your story over, you can tell our story over his story using our own platforms. It was very good. We'll have a vlog out about that
Soon to come.
In the next couple of weeks or so, we got a lot of content that we're putting out for you guys. But this camp was very special, man. And I learned so much, not just about myself, but about the communities that we have in America. More specifically, my own community, the African American community.
Okay.
It was love, bro. It was nothing but love. How'd you like it?
I mean, it was definitely something different for me because that was my first time camping. So we were at a campsite, like Jabril mentioned, about an hour away from Orlando. So when we got out there, they let us know that, hey, we're going to be plugged out from the world. So no internet, no cellular device, no nothing. So we couldn't get access to the outside world, basically, which was cool because I don't think we've had that, at least personally, haven't had that experience in a while because, we're always on the phone checking stuff and talking to people. So this was really good for us. And we were getting away from everybody but had the youth with us, which was really nice because we met people from all over the nation. There was people that came from Philly, Atlanta, people that came from DC, people that came from Detroit, Seattle. So it was all young Muslims between the age of 12 to 17, right? And the best thing that I got from it is that even though we're still young, they're just a different level. It's not the same, you know what I mean? But we can still relate to them.
Yeah, for sure.
Not on everything.
But you know what? I'm not going to say I don't disagree, but I do think that there are more similarities
absolutely.
between us than I originally thought.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we both have younger siblings. And one of my siblings, she's in high school.
Minimum is about 10 years gap between us and the oldest participant.
Yeah, it was because the oldest person was 17, 12, 17. The youngest person, I believe, was getting ready to turn 12. So it's like it's crazy because like we've lived so much longer than these kids. You know what I'm saying? Like we're 16 years old.
Alhamdulillah,
you feel me? So literally like that's a whole life. That's a whole, 16 years. That's a long time. So it was interesting to be around these kids and to understand them, listen to them. Like even like the music that they're like so different.
Yeah, right.
But to see how they interact with each other, like the dances and stuff. Because you remember in middle school, that's when like dances.
That's
like,
when
snap your fingers.
That's when everybody was trying to get hip to the latest dance, or at least try. If you try to learn how to dance in middle school, you're ahead of the game now. You're way ahead of the game. And Jabril's kind of behind the game. He's trying to do that.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I feel old. When I was like, yo, y'all know how to snap your fingers? So, one of the funniest things, we were in the cabin, right? And so, this was like the first or second night. And like they were listening to music. And this was right before I took their phones. And so I was like, yo, like, we're going to listen to some of my music. And one of the dudes was like, yo, NBA Youngboy. Yeah. And he started listening to all the people, right? Yep. And one of the older dudes was like, yo, like, he listens to rap, but I don't think he listens to the rap we listen to.
It's old school rap.
When I said J. Cole, they were like, bruh.
Look at this old man.
I was like, yo, y'all know K-Dot? They were like, who K-Dot? K-Dot? Like, oh, my God. Like, y'all heard that new Crit album? They're like, bruh. Like, it was... Anybody I listed, there was one person, my man, my man from Philly, Sinai, like cool dude, man.
He was hip to the
bro. Me and him had
hip to hip hop culture.
But anyways, like I was saying, it was just so cool, man, to be able to vibe with these kids and to be able to see how similar of experiences we all had, whether it be in school or like instances during Ramadan or even just like the dating scene. Like these kids so much younger than us, it's so similar to us. It's so crazy, man. It's so wild. So alhamdulillah, it was great, man. The camp itself though, like we did archery.
Was beneficial overall, man.
Yeah. What'd you get out of it?
I mean, outside of the activities, it was exactly what they promoted, like life and leadership skills, because there was about 7 different teams and 60 children, right? So that means about 6 or 7 teams, so it's about like 10 children per team captain.
There were 48 kids, and
48,
and there were four of us, or 5 of us. Sorry.
Oh yeah, there was 5 of us. Wow, well, it looked a lot more. But anyway, like one thing that I loved is that they had great food. So shout out to all the volunteers. Shout out to the chef. She legitly put her foot in it. Oh my God, like the food was on point. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Oh my God, alhamdulillah for that. But anyway, so you wouldn't just go and just eat. After you ate, you actually had to go to the back and wash all of the dishes, which
each team had to take turns.
which was kind of hard because you wake up early, you pray Fajr, you're up at like 5:00, and then after you're done praying, you want to go back to sleep, but then you got kitchen duty because you just ate breakfast, so that was like so some very disciplined tasks, disciplinary tasks. And just looking at some of the kids, you can tell that they never washed dishes before, they never cleaned the countertop, they never did any of that. So
but what I'll say is a lot of those kids stepped up. Like
they did step up. Even if they didn't know, they were like, you know what, this is the time for me to do something like this, right? This is why my parents sent me here. So that's what I did. Like
that. I mean, they're not. Come on, Mo.
What? You don't know?
You know, they ain't thinking like that. My parents sent me here to learn to wash. No, they ain't thinking that. Like it sucks in the moment. Look, in the moment, it sucks. But they stepped up to the plate. They matured up. Like that's life.
Yeah. Not everybody, but majority of them did.
Majority. I'll say my group did a good job. The women, the girls, young ladies did a great job. I mean, from my perspective, our perspectives, we're older, I would say that those kids did stuff that they wouldn't normally do, but they did it. They didn't do it begrudgingly.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was just like, yo, we gotta do this.
Or they felt like they were forced.
Exactly. They knew it was a part of what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, yo, like you said, we are here for a reason, but I felt like some of them were like, all right, this is actually kind of fun. You should have saw some of those boys, man. They were in there like it looked like a legit kitchen.
But
what was so mind opening about it was like I was like, yo, they're going to be able to go and get a job and know what it's like to actually put in real work, because it was hard work washing dishes for 60 plus people every single meal. And what was different was for us as team leaders, I asked the other two, Halima and Tawhida, I was like, hey, like how. Like, should we go and help, or like what do we do? And they were like, oh, well, kind of supervise, like the kids do things. Yeah. And I tried that, and it's different. It's different because it's easy for us to go in and just work, bro. We find a task, we put our head down, we do it.
Let's go behind them and just be like, I got this.
Yeah, but it's a lot different when you are trying to supervise and not micromanage, because at some level you have to trust these kids to do their job.
Yeah. That was the hard part, because it was just one of those things like, all right, I just told this guy what to do, but he's being lazy, he's not doing it. Let me just go in and do it myself, right? The task might get done, but that wasn't the point. So, I saw you do that, which was good. I wish I would have done a little bit better job at that.
Bro, you a cheater, too.
What you mean?
Because during all the games, they would tell us, oh, team leaders can't help. My man Mo was like, yo, go do this. Like, I can see the vein popping out your neck because you wanted to. Like,
let's go. I was trying to get my team up and going because everybody was looking around like, come on, guys.
Yeah, so just to give a synopsis, because we don't want to stay on this too long. So the way the camp worked is from we got there Wednesday and we had registration. Yep. And then Thursday was first day. The last full day was Saturday, and then we had a half day on Sunday. Every day we wake up for Fajr, we have prayer, and then we have a
was it like a mini halakha?
No, it's not a halakha. It starts with a T. Tafsir. Yeah, we have that in the morning, and the sister.
Oh my God, I forget her name. She came from Little Rock, Arkansas.
No, her name starts with A.
It was Anissa.
Sister Anissa. So Sister Anissa would sit down. She would lead the tafsir, and was it?
Tafsir or the halakha, one or two.
Yeah, one or two. So she would lead it, and then we would leave. Some of us would be able to go back to sleep. We'll come back. We would have breakfast. Have a clean crew, and then from that point on, we were literally in workshops, and we were in activities back to back, all the way. We would do every prayer together. All the kids would lead the prayer call in.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, that was the best part. You know what I'm saying? And so, and what was cool was that none of the kids embarrassed other kids that they didn't know it. You know what I'm saying?
Because there were some kids that like I just know how to do this.
Or they weren't comfortable doing it. So it was like they're really trying to encourage one another to be better Muslims throughout, right? And just to be more mature young adults. Right. So now we get to the final day, and you know we have this routine going on. We get to the final day, they start doing relay races, and that's where we get to Mo being a cheater. We weren't supposed to help them. It was eight sections, and your team has to figure out how to do these tasks from the first station over to the last station.
It was called Khalil Chaos.
Yeah, Khalil Chaos. I'm not gonna lie, that was super fun. It was hella fun. That was a lot. And this man Mo, I could see him sitting there like whispering. You would have been great on the Patriots. The Patriots backstab.
The Patriots.
Cheater. And I used to be a Patriots fan.
Get those balls.
Yo.
Deflate them. Pause. Pause. So, get the footballs.
Go ahead and cover that. So
continue.
All right. So what we learned out of it is that you can't micromanage, and you have to trust. You have to trust your team. You have to be able to trust those who you've been working with that they can get the job done.
Yeah.
That was very hard to do.
That was hard to do.
I was sweating. It's
like, you gotta have faith, and you gotta have them, be creative and have them get it done, because it's good to win, but at what cost? You know what I mean? Like that was
not the cost of cheating, Mo.
Not even cheating, and not the cost of the kids not learning anything, because I think. No, not everybody. No, Jabril's team won the whole thing.
Yeah,
but
we won the whole thing because I didn't cheat. I came at the game correct. You feel me? We got the most points.
Yeah, I think my team came in third, probably.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like we crushed it. We did what we had to do. The best thing is that we had leaders step up in our team. We had leaders.
Yeah, he did. All right.
So we'll move on from Camp Khalil. They'll be going.
Make sure you check it out, man. Like it's something. If you have kids or siblings or just family members between the age of 12 to 17, they're just sitting around the summertime. That camp it's affordable too, but we think they should definitely go out there. Trust us.
Yeah.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
Agreed. All right. So other thing is that this is going to be actually a very quick update. We actually did a very, very dope podcast with brother Imam Shadid Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
You guys, oh my goodness. You guys are in for a treat.
Phenomenal episode.
Oh,
Phenomenal.
You guys will be getting bits of that on our Instagram and Twitter. So if you do not follow us already, you can follow us at Young, the letter N Muslim, YOUNGN Muslim. Follow us.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now on to the recent events, my friend.
We're there. Okay. Oof.
Yeah. We had to start off with something positive that we've done.
Positive. Now we kind of a little bit of.
So we'll get into this.
Back up again.
There's been a lot of recent shootings here in America, mass shootings, terrorism, domestic terrorism.
Yes.
By Caucasian Americans.
And it's finally called that. They're actually calling it domestic terrorism.
I mean, bro, it can only happen so many times in a year before you're like, yo, it's terrorism. Yeah. And I don't want to stay on this. The reason I don't want to stay on this topic is because we often see the same patterns when we have these mass shootings.
Yep.
The memes go up and people share the same stuff, and it's just mental ill. It's the news, the media isn't going to change, right? Mm-hmm. And we know this. We say this every time something like this happens. Why won't they? They say it's terrorism. Okay, now what? Right? Like we've been begging for the news to acknowledge this as domestic terrorism. Call these Caucasian Americans, white people, call them terrorists like they are. Cool, they call them terrorists.
But you know why it was important that they called it a terrorist?
Why?
There's a few different reasons why. One, because, people want to finally hear it, right? That's one thing. But another thing is that once you call something terrorism, then that's a federal threat, like a national threat. That means they can use federal resources like U.S. Marshals and like a detective, the FBI, like the federal can start getting involved. If it's not considered a quote unquote like a terrorist or like a domestic threat or like a national security issue, then they're not going to focus much attention on, But when they're like, all right, this right here, these people are terrorists, then they're going to have, okay, let's use the money that we have from the government to fight this. So that's why it was so important that they kind of made
why it's such a big deal.
Why it was a big deal to change the rhetoric from what they call it earlier, like mental health issue.
No, they just call them mass shooter or gunmen.
Shooting. Yeah, so now it changed from mass shooting, so now it's considered domestic terrorism.
Got you. Yeah. So my question still remains: now what? Right?
Yeah,
as the public who really want this to be called what it should have been called from the beginning. Now what? Right?
Yeah.
A lot of times, because it's crazy. Like that was the 250th shooting, I believe, in 219 days. Something like that.
So 2019?
Yeah.
So it's not even
not even a full year, and I believe that was the 250th shooting.
And we're 8 months in.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's wild. So it's it's discouraging, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a fear that comes across you and your loved ones, because now you're thinking like, when will it happen to us? Will we be
Mm-hmm.
prepared? Like, what
Mm-hmm.
happens? And I don't want to think like that. I don't want my family thinking like that. I don't want people that listen to this thinking like that. However, it is important, similar to what happened in New Zealand, it is important for us to start to think, what do we do in these situations? How
Mm-hmm.
do we prevent these situations, even if it means, do we carry? Do
Yeah.
we
Protect ourselves.
yeah, how do we protect ourselves? How do we protect our families? What do we do? And the only thing I can think of, and I'm surprised I'm even saying this,
Mm-hmm.
the only thing we can do is just pray.
Pray.
I don't think there's literally anything else that we can do in a situation like that, you
Yeah.
know, because we have to live our lives. We can't be paralyzed by these things.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that you can do right here and now is pray.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're exactly right. Pray, and then pray for these young white children, like mainly boys. You don't see any like any women doing this, but these are young boys that may not come from money, right? And they're intimidated that foreigners or Hispanics or
Yeah.
Muslims are gonna come and take their jobs, and they're no longer gonna be the majority. But in regards to numbers, I don't think Caucasians have ever been the majority, like numbers wise. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
they need to get that straight. But I think they just feel threatened right now, you know, and they're like, damn, we can't do nothing. We got our backs against the wall. Then they have somebody in office that's kind of promoting it and speaking up the loudest, you know. But then now, you know, the president said that there's going to be a death penalty. Will that change people's minds? Will it not? I don't know.
I mean, look, man, Trump is just a hot air balloon, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, whatever this dude says, he's just doing it because he has to say it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people still take what he says to heart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even like what happened with, the congresswoman. I didn't want to say anything about it because I was like, what do you guys expect from this guy?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you expect from this buffoon?
Mm-hmm.
So let's leave the mass shootings.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's get more into the injustices that we see. And as Muslims, there's a lot of injustice going on. I think the Muslim community came and rallied behind Sudan and the uprising going on in Sudan extremely well. The world stood up for Sudan. I think that we spread a lot of awareness about
mashallah.
what's happening in China to the Uyghur?
It's the Uyghur Muslims being put in concentration camps by the millions. So that was
something that's been going on for the last couple years actually.
I know, right? But it's just being publicized that people just are knowing about it now. But you can't forget you can't forget what type of country that we're dealing with. Like this is China, right? And China doesn't let information out of its wallet sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So this could have been it could have been even going on longer than that, but it could have just been like publicized now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And in these concentration camps, they're legit like feeding like Muslims pork, you know, pouring down alcohol down their throats even during Ramadan. You know, so this is just inhumane, man. I really don't know like what it is.
Look, and what's similar between what's happening there, what's similar between what's happening here in America, especially what's happening at the border, right?
Yeah.
And how they're treating these migrants is there's a total lack of moral character and compassion within these nations that have power. These nations that we hail as being the world's leading powers.
Well, these parties that have
most
power.
technologically advanced.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We made what we gain in intellectual power, we lose in moral character.
Yeah.
And it's really concerning because that's not the entirety of the population. It's just the ones that are in power.
That's a small fraction of the people.
And it paints us in a very bad light.
Us as in people?
Yes, like I'm American.
Yeah,
you're American.
yeah.
We go somewhere, it's like
you Americans are
y'all are crazy.
Y'all crazy, yeah.
For decades, people think when they think Americans, they think gunslingers.
Yeah.
Which I love Westerns, and it's kind of true, you know. What's up? But that's not good.
No,
that's not good.
No,
that's not good. No country has more guns than we do, and no country is treating their citizens the way that these world powers are. It's horrible. And so we have to ask ourselves, what is wrong morally with the world where we place no real value on the lives
Mm-hmm.
that are being taken.
Yeah.
And we live in such a fast-paced world that we hear about a shooting here, a shooting here, and a shooting here, and we can't even process it.
Yeah, right. It's just, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody talks about how they feel about what's going on. I'm not saying we need, how do you feel? But like, we really need to sit down with one another and say, bro, what is happening right now?
What's happening to our country? What's happening to our people?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, I'm still processing the death of Nipsey. Like, I'm still, like, it's still, I wake up some days and I'm just like, wow, this dude is gone. And granted, that's one person, and I'm not trying to say his life matters more than anyone else's. Just saying is that's just one person. I still can't wrap my head around the fact that there's been 3 mass shootings, 3 terrorist attacks by people who are born and raised here within the last week.
Yeah. And plane attacks. Like, the one dude drove 2 hours to El Paso so he can be around a Mexican majority city so he can show them a lesson. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So they was targeted.
Yeah.
But
and it's scary because, again, where's the moral character? Where is that line?
Mm-hmm.
And so that leads me into what's happening over in Kashmir, what's happening in India. Well, Kashmir is technically its own sovereign state, or not sovereign state, it's its own independent nation, or as it was under Article 370. If you haven't been keeping up with it, we want to try
1947.
we want to kind of break down what is happening in Kashmir. It's hitting the news right now. It's hitting a lot of us through social media. People are changing their profile pictures to red.
To red, yeah.
I encourage it.
To read up on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
encourage you to read up on it, understand what's happening. But if you haven't heard what's going on, we want to try our best to take what knowledge we have taken, the research that we've done, and share it with you guys to kind of update on the situation.
Yep. So like Jabril said, the article, what is it, 370, basically what that does, basically identifies Kashmir as like its own sovereign state, where it has its own political party, its own rules. It doesn't have to abide by anything that India does. And anybody that's non-Kashmirian cannot purchase any real estate. So that's actually kind of big. So India has decided to scrap that whole thing and sent about tens of thousands of more troops back into the city. They already had 40,000 troops. I think another 10, so that's 50,000 troops in Kashmir, which is like legitimately the size of, I think it's Utah. The size of Utah. Mm-hmm. Think about that. 50,000 troops.
That's tiny, bro.
That's you said what?
I said that's like a tiny space to have that many troops.
50,000. So what are they doing? So
what are they gearing up for?
So what they're doing right now so far, so they've shut down schools, colleges. They kicked out all the tourists, right? Telephones and internet services have been suspended
since Sunday. And
regional political leaders have been placed under house arrest.
What it sounds like,
you don't want nobody seeing what's going on. You're trying to...
Well, what it sounds like what's going on is that they're going to do a coup. It's a takeover of this state.
And they don't want to nobody.
Which is an issue for Pakistan, who runs the west side of Kashmir. India is running the east side, and then China runs the northern borders. And it was an agreement that these people would be safe under Article 370. Yep. However, when it was signed on the 17th of October in 1949, it was stated that this was temporary, and India felt let me be more specific. The nationalist Hindu political party in India feels as though it is time for them to acclimate the Kashmir people and make them join the Indian society, the greater Indian society. And the Kashmir people are the greatest majority of Muslims, or concentration of Muslims in all of Indian territory, or India itself. So
think about it.
The number of hate crimes going on in India has definitely risen over the last couple of years. We've been seeing news about it. People getting people getting lynched.
Yeah, no, this is specifically just lynchings have escalated.
Just
I
lynchings,
think that's
wow.
been something.
And very, very gruesome, graphic things have been put out and gone viral, and it's very unfortunate. Yeah. So we want to try and keep people up to date with this, just as we have with other things going on in the world, because as Muslims, we are obligated to try and find the truth in things and to share that truth with our people. And we want you guys to try and support any way you can. So continue to do research, continue to understand the situation. If you have the means to be able to help, or if you know ways that you can help, please share that. Use our platform, whatever you got to promote. You can feel free to go in the comments and say, hey, like this is going on. This is how you can help donate. As long as it is a reliable source, we will definitely check that out as well.
Yes.
And if it is BS, then we will take it down.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we just want to use this platform to help spread knowledge of truth and help as many people as we all can.
Yep. And we know there's probably a few people out there that are well versed in this topic. If you are, please DM us so we can get you on Instagram Live or get you on the show. That way you can talk about it specifically. Obviously, we know as much as what we read on the news, but we need somebody that has the boots on the ground that's giving us the kind of the day-to-day what's going on, things we won't see. Because if the internet is shut down, I wonder what's really coming out.
I mean, that's what happened in Sudan. You see
exactly
what happened in Sudan. The internet
was
shut down for.
But they had people there that maybe had like a
in and out,
exactly. They flew out,
but even still, we were still seeing crazy videos after the internet was come back on, because it's like, yo, we're gonna save these videos and still put them up.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that is the update on what's happening in Kashmir. A lot of people are turning their profile pictures red in solidarity for Kashmir. Are you going to change your profile red?
Am I?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't thought about it. I'm gonna look into it, see what the red stands for. Cause I kind of knew what the blue stood for in Sudan. Probably once I see what the red stands for, then probably go ahead and do that.
I have friends who are Pakistani who are turning theirs red. So
okay, yeah.
Because they're in solidarity with them.
Yep.
I tend to go on the side of not changing my profile, and it's not for any particular reason. It's just something that I haven't been doing, because I didn't do it with Sudan.
Yeah.
We don't do it with the podcast, because the podcast is kind of like Switzerland. We keep it very neutral, because we do talk about what's happening all over the place. So we keep the podcast neutral. Me personally, I didn't change it with Sudan. It wasn't because I wasn't in solidarity with Sudan. I went to events. I sent money, and I don't know. I don't really have a reason why, but
maybe you just need a reason to do it. Who knows?
I don't know. Hit me.
I got you.
Let me know. All right. So now let's get the Angie back. Let's start real quick.
I think those were the most recent events so far.
You want to
Yes.
Let's
so now we're back into it. Now let's get back on the positive side. Now we're gonna do a quick and of a long list of shout outs.
Oh yes, we haven't done a shout out list in a long time.
And for those that never heard of our shout outs, what we do what we do is basically we highlight young Muslims, or maybe even just people in the community that are doing just great things that we thought that is worth highlighting. So first person on our list is Basha.
So we went live with Miss Basha Ray Jean.
Yes.
Basha is a recording artist. She is a doula or a birth coach. She is.
I'll look that up if you don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting.
Very interesting.
If you guys are listening to this in the morning, make sure you go and check out our live. It should still be up every Tuesday, 6 p.m., 24 hours up on the live. We don't record these, so if you miss it, you miss it.
All right.
We just want you guys to get the best information. So she's a firecracker. She's doing a lot of dope things, and I think it's really cool that we have Muslim women really stepping up to the plate. And let me put this out there too. The Muslim women are really the only ones stepping up to the plate. There's a lot of Muslim guys that think that they're doing something, but the
Muslim guys don't even know where the plate's at.
Exactly. We're slacking out here, guys. Yeah, so I encourage my Muslim men to
come on, fellas, stand up.
Yeah, look at these Muslim women. They out here killing the game. So step it up, son.
I expect to be with them.
Good point. Great point. Shout out to Miss Basha Ray Jean. Oh, and she released her new EP.
Check it out.
Occupy Knowledge. I believe that's how you pronounce it. It's spelled differently, but it's a very good EP. I believe there's seven songs on there. My personal favorite is Young Muslima and Juts. So I will go up there, listen to it. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple iTunes. It's on her website, which is Bosha, Boshia.
Boom.
Ray, Rae, Jean. So
Boom.
J-E-A.
Boom.
I'm trying to spell, bro. My God. BoshaRaeJean.com. You can find her on Instagram. Same thing. Bosha, BoshiaRaeJean.
Boom.
Find her. Subscribe to her channels. And tell her what's up on our behalf. What's up?
Yeah, I know. So next we have up Maria Idrissi. So she had something come up. Was it this week or last week? Well, within the past week or so, that Banana Republic had came out with its collaboration. I think with the Hot Hijab, or maybe not. But what they did was that they released some new articles of clothing, which were the hijab. And the issue was that the representation that they had a young black Muslim woman that was modeling the clothes. The issue is that
I don't think the issue was with the representation. It wasn't with the representation. It was with how she was wearing.
How she was wearing
it.
it. Oh, so I guess that's what I meant by the representation.
Yeah.
How she was wearing it, because she had a hijab on, and then I guess was it
she had
like
like
shirt on?
Yeah,
Like it was like a shirt that had it was sleeveless, or like a short sleeve shirt, and another one with a dress, and they reached out to us like, hey, that's not like the full hijab look, like the hijab is more than just the kimar. It's like a whole attitude,
joint.
So they reached out to her, to Banana Republic, and they kind of changed it. And Maria Idrissi was kind of on the front line, and she was like, hey, look, if you want to tap into the Muslim dollar, you got to make sure you understand this and have the right Muslims working on your team. And I think this goes back to what you said a while ago. You were talking about a movie. I don't know if it was Rami. We were looking at Rami. You were like, hey, this movie was representing Muslims, but they couldn't even find a guy that prayed right.
It was a show that comes on ABC, and they had this guy up there who
that's what it was,
who was praying, but he was praying wrong. And it was like, yo, as many Muslims as there are, and there were probably Muslims on your show, in your production somewhere, you guys didn't think to say, hey, like, what's the proper way to make salat?
Yeah.
All right. So there is a misrepresentation. There's a lack of Muslim representation on the production side of these companies. Nobody is really giving correct strategy on maybe we should use this or we should use that, or
so
we should use this terminology.
Do brands need to do better, or do we have to find that?
Brands have to do better. They make these millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah, they got the resources to find these people.
Bro, there's the internet. They have no excuse to be messing something up as simple as the
they could
hijab. Like
they could just ask a question. They could use the power of social media, post it on Twitter. Hey, how does this look? You know what I'm saying? Just like,
well, I understand why they wouldn't, because you're trying to unveil something.
Oh yeah, true.
But before you put it out, how many doors does that have to go through before they green light it?
Yeah.
Like they had like they're a young brand. They're just let's post this and let's do it. Like no, like they have to go through a lot of tape in order to get something approved and then put it on the internet, because these are $1 million brands.
Exactly.
Banana Republic is no small.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? So she's right. And she got a lot of slack for that from the Somali community. They thought she was coming at the mall, but that wasn't the case. Yeah. She was saying that we have to stay on these big brands who are going to start tapping into the Muslim dollar to become correct.
Yep. I agree.
They came slicking and they were slipping.
Yeah, and they slipped. But I think that they finally changed. Like they changed it. Yeah. So shout out to Banana Republic for actually fixing that right away.
Yeah, and shout out to Maria Idrissi for being strong on the front line and doing what was needed. And again, this is another instance where it's like, yo, Muslim woman coming here to the rescue, because any man could have said the same thing.
What you mean? Oh yeah, about
that. Granted, I don't shop at Banana Republic. That's annoying for women. But my point is bigger. My point is these Muslim women are out there on the front lines, and at the end of the day, I think, and for any great society to be great, your women have to be crushing it.
Yes, well educated, hustling,
and they have to have the freedoms to be able to use their voice in the way. Look,
we gotta support them too, because if they're putting their life on, like if they're putting their neck on the line like that, we gotta be
behind them.
So we can't just be there criticizing them, which we saw. But
like, what kind of Muslims are we if we mistaken the intentions and then we don't even apologize?
Criticizing somebody that's trying to support us. She was defending us. She was defending the Muslims. You feel me? She's like, that's not us.
Anyways, we digress. Next shout out is our boys out there in Baltimore.
Yeah, YMG, Young Muslims Grinding.
Our boys out there in Baltimore, Young Muslims Grinding. They just had their first show out in New York City. So
Harlem.
big shout out
Harlem.
to them.
Yeah.
And big shout out to the big bro, Tone Trump.
Right.
The greatest hustler alive on his new
That's what he said.
on his new EP release. Miracle on Market Street.
Yes.
He's been promoting that for so long. Even when we first met him.
Link in his bio.
Yeah, link in his bio.
Sure.
Make sure you guys go and check him out. Tone, Tone Trump.
Yep.
And this is the only Trump that we respect. You feel me? So, my man, he's been putting in that work all summer long. He's been taking us under his wing, teaching us the ropes in certain aspects. So big shout out to our man Tone Trump. Let's drop and include bombs. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. No, I'm messing with you. But no, like shout out to them. The show looked amazing. Our boys, Young Muslims Grinding, they on the rise.
I know.
We are going to actually have them on the podcast very soon too.
Very
soon. Keep your eyes and ears open for that, people.
Coming soon, y'all.
So during one of the mass shootings, which we didn't mention, should have mentioned it before, there was a very special angel out here. His name, who goes by the name of Glenn Oakley. He is a soldier who was in El Paso as the shooting was happening. He was at a Foot Locker next door.
The Walmart.
And, next door to the Walmart that the shooter started opening up fire. And he said that he saw a kid come in, was like, there's somebody shooting. And he was like, he didn't believe it. And then from there, he goes outside, like he's leaving, and he starts hearing shooting. So he said first instinct was he saw a bunch of kids out in the parking lot, just running around, no parents. So he just went and started picking up as many kids as he could, take them to safety, go get more. And it's tragic that we have soldiers that come home from war or come for duty,
right,
and then they come here and it's a war zone. It's like, dude,
that's crazy.
You're already going out to fight in wars that are already controversial, and now you come back home to fight and protect. It's just crazy.
It's sad, bro.
Yeah, it's very sad. It's very sad. America has a lot of issues, but I think that right there is definitely our number one. The fact that we have people that have to come here and deal with, like he said, that was the worst day of his life.
I mean, dude, he's already out, overseas fighting. Now he has to worry about his own people.
That's crazy. It's crazy, man. So shout out to my man Glenn Oakley. Yes. You are a true hero.
Right.
You're a true blessing to this ummah, man. Like, much respect to you. If you ever do hear this, we didn't personally have anybody that was there, but when one person of humanity dies, it's like all of humanity dies. And we feel it here as Americans. We feel it as human beings, as spiritual beings. It hurts us, and that love and that compassion that you show for these children, these people, these families, we commend that and we salute that.
Yes, sir. Also, big shout out to everybody that's on Hajj right now. I know they should already be in Saudi. I've seen pictures, I've seen videos. Looks like a lot of people having fun and capitalizing these blessed days. If you weren't able to go to Hajj and you're home, make sure you're able to do the following: reach out to somebody that's going to Hajj, tell them to pray for you, ask that Allah accepts their prayers. Ask for forgiveness, whatever it is, right? Second thing, fast. If you fast any of these last 10 days, like you fasted the whole year, and try to give as much charity as you can, and do as many good deeds.
And try and get as close to Allah as possible. And that doesn't just mean by praying and reading Quran. One of the khutbahs that we went to at Masjid Muhammad a while back, I believe this was right before Ramadan. This was in March.
That was a really good one.
The brother that was giving the khutbah, he said, you got to read both books of Allah, the Quran and then the creation.
Allah's creation.
It's important for us to disconnect from this world and to just go out into the creation and understand that we are part of this. Our natural state came from this earth and we'll go back into this earth. And so while we're here, we should be trying to draw parallels to ourselves and the natural world. So once a week, I know I have a tradition where I go out into the woods, or I go and try and do something natural, maybe fishing or even sports, just human connection, and connect back with the Allah's creation. Because during these last 10 days, we want to try and make sure that we are praying, we are asking for forgiveness. We are praying for the Ummah. We are praying for those who are in need. But we also are securing our own souls and locking our own mental health and physical health and spiritual health down. You feel me? Because you know the vibes.
Hey.
You know the vibes. All right, so let's get this. Let's roll through this, my man.
All right,
let's get it.
So next we have Dr. Craig Considine. He's actually somebody that we found in the virtual world. He's very active on Twitter and Instagram. So what he is a scholar at Rice University. He's the author of 4 books on Christian and Muslim relations. Internationally recognized speaker and also award-winning teacher. So we found him online, right, bro?
Yeah.
I think we actually
we're going live with him next
Yes,
Tuesday.
we're
April,
going live
August 13th.
August 13th, going live with him 6 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget it. So I found about him because I just see his tweets online, and he's always like spreading love about both Christianity and Islam. You know, providing both knowledge and the best of both worlds. Because he knows about both religions, he could make one look bad and one look good, but he decided not to do that, right?
He said we're
That's
all
not
brothers and sisters in faith.
That's what he uses his platform
Love this
for,
dude,
to
man.
bring everybody together. So like, yo, it doesn't. I was like, yo, I don't care if he's a Muslim or not. You know, it doesn't matter what school of thought he came from or how he was brought about. If that's his motto, is to bring everybody together and just be
We on the same mission.
unified. That's it, right? That's all I need to know. So shout out to Dr. Craig. We appreciate everything that you do, man, and keep on pushing. If people want to follow him on Twitter and Instagram, it's Dr. Craig Considine. I think it's Considine. C-O-N.
If you just search Dr. Craig, he should pop up.
Yeah, you should follow him.
I mean, there ain't a lot of doctors out here named Craig.
Yeah,
I don't think.
Considine. Dr. Craig
Hold on, let me just actually test that on Twitter. Let me test it. Dr. Craig.
Don't worry about it, bro. If you look that up, he'll come up.
Yeah, Dr. Craig.
Yes.
All right, yeah, he'll pop up. All right, so shout out to my man Craig,
Shout out,
Dr. Craig. Apologies. Shout out to the Young and Muslim podcast.
Right.
You want to know why?
Yeah.
Because we had an amazing time with our team this weekend. Yes, it is a team
It's
that's
expanding.
bigger than us too.
Alhamdulillah, we are expanding, guys.
Yes, so gracious shout out to my cousin Jamal. He came, he helped us record a stellar episode with Imam
Solid.
Shadid Muhammad, and you know he's been helping a little bit on the outside, giving different advice on how to move. So we really appreciate his help. But even bigger shout out to someone that you guys all know but you don't know.
Yeah, I'm about to say
Someone
what?
who you've seen the fruits of his labor, but you guys don't know who he is. That's our band Mokan. We found Mokan during Ramadan.
We found him.
We found him, abandoned him as a puppy. That only goes for my old heads that know Courage and Cali, dog. You remember that show? Oh,
It's one of my favorite, bro.
It's a classic. So shout out to Mokan. We found him during Ramadan, and he is an aspiring videographer, photographer who is also in his grind. He's like in the prime of his grind mode.
Right, college graduate.
And we talked to him a little bit. He was learning about what we did, and he said he wanted to get on board with us. So he's the one that is posting all these hilarious memes,
Yes.
these amazing pieces of micro content from our episodes. So shout out to Mokan. Show him some love. If you guys can go and follow him. I don't have his Instagram directly, but we definitely will shout him out on our Instagram page because he is part of our team. We want to show him the same love that you guys show us.
It's Mokan24, MOKHAN24.
Let's blow my man's Instagram up.
Right.
Please do that. Blow up his Instagram and don't let him know why. I want to see how surprised he is. It's gonna be hilarious.
Like, what is this?
Yeah. Let's give a big shout out to 8-year-old Khadija Mela. She is
18. 18-year-old?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
God dang it, Mo, you messed. Let's give a big shout out to the 18-year-old Khadija Mela from South London. She is the first hijabi, the first woman to wear hijab as a competitive jockey to win her first horse race.
Yeah.
Said that right? Cool. Shout out to her. She's breaking barriers. She's up there with the Ibtihajes, the Maria Idrissis. She's up there with the groundbreakers and the world shakers. Man, I'm off.
You got it though.
That was horrible. But no, she's up there with the legends, and I commend her for just doing her thing, regardless of how she has to dress and
Exactly.
and what limitations, quote unquote,
Mhm.
that she may have. She went out there, did her thing, and then she even proved that, hey, we out here, we winning, cuz
Right.
we doing our thing.
She young too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is that all you about her? Is that all you had? About Khadija? And
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, hey, hold on, no. Hey,
What?
so let's leave that out. That's
This one?
we won't gotta leave it out. That's actually a pretty big one.
Yeah.
All right,
So
let's do it.
there's something that we saw online. I saw Swizzy posted, another good friend of ours. It was from JRoth_JRoth, and he started something called the Water Gun Challenge. The way that came about was that him and his friends wanted to combat that hot summer. They are VCU grads from the DMV area, so what they ended up doing was getting some water guns and just carrying around with them, and then when they pass somebody, they legitimately just throw it on the ground in front of them and see if the person is willing to kind of bust back with the water gun. And if they do, then they go ahead and have a water gun fight wherever they're at. So
Not gonna lie, bro. That joint looks so much fun.
no, it does look fun
It
because
look
like
a lot of
it's
fun.
it's old people, young people, white people, black people. Like you just look at their face because they already know what time it is. You know what I mean?
It's fun, bro. Everybody remembers those days of getting the water guns and just like squirting each other.
Right.
Man. So much fun, bro.
But this also creates a lot of like a dialogue, you know? Hey, like, where are you from? Where do you do this? Like, a lot of dawah can be promoted this way too, right? So shout out to JRoth, man. You're doing something phenomenal, man. And let us know if you out there. We're down for the challenge, man. We'll come out to DC and bust you.
Hey.
All right, up next, shout out to our good friend Amo
Ayo.
Matawa. Congratulations on the wedding, Mabruk Habibi.
Habibi,
Oh
love
my
you, my
goodness, he'll be 1 day in when y'all listen to this. So
man.
make sure y'all reach out to him, Ahmed Matawa. I don't even know what he is on Twitter, to be honest, or
just
Instagram. Don't matter.
shoot us a DM,
Yeah.
giving our man the salams and the
Yes.
congratulations.
Mabruk,
because
Mabruk,
it's
Mabruk.
like real talk, like this dude is very good friends with both of us.
Yes.
He is
A1.
one of the best Muslims I have met since I moved up here. Like no, I'm being dead
Nah,
serious.
Amo's a
This
great
is like for the
person.
podcast. Like
No, he's a
this
great
dude
person,
is one of
no
the
doubt.
best Muslims I have met since I've been up here.
Best people, bro.
Like my man, hospitable,
Mhm.
always friendly, like always inviting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You never feel
Positive.
out of place when you're around this dude. You know, like even when I first met him, first day I met him, like you just cool. Ahlan wa sahlan. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, Habibi. I love you.
Hey, Jabril's feeling himself. Hey, congrats, Amo. We happy for you, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Mama, we made it finally.
Just a little bit blown. We couldn't make it to Egypt.
I know it was in
but-
Egypt, so shout out Egypt.
Just a little bit blown.
Want to give a shout out to him. It's kind of bad to say this after staying in Egypt, but
Oh, you want me? You doing the announcement is very.
yeah, you got it. It's hard for me to even say, to be honest.
To all the Algerians out there, to all of you Algerians,
Oh my God.
hey, make sure you guys hit up Mo and hit him with the Algerian flag because you guys deserve it. We're a little bit late in announcing this, but congratulations to Algeria for becoming the African Cup of Nations champions. You defeated my team, Senegal.
Oh yeah.
Anybody that knows me know I love Senegal. That's a team that I go for in all international competitions, and you guys won fairly. You guys were definitely the
Right.
better team
Yeah,
throughout.
it was good. It was a good game, and that was a nice final. That was a nice tournament, to be honest with you.
Bro, his Mahrez's goal to beat Nigeria and
God.
literally
Was that
the free kick,
Oh my
bro.
gosh.
That was one of the best. That was
Dude.
one of the most clutch
Dude.
moments I have ever seen in international football.
He
like
knew. He knew.
ah
He knew.
ah.
You know how you
Bro,
just know.
he couldn't hit it anywhere else.
Yeah.
It was amazing. He couldn't hit it anywhere else. I'm disappointed in some of the big names. I think Mohamed Salah, he was chilling, but granted, Mohamed
Right,
Salah had
yeah.
a very long season.
Exactly. Yeah.
He played like 61 games.
Dang.
You know
You
what I'm
didn't
saying?
even think that way.
Him and Sadio Mane, like, bro, 61 games in 10 months is a lot.
That's why they took their time to come back to Anfield.
Yeah,
To Liverpool, like,
right? They took their time,
Let
cuz.
me get 2 weeks after y'all.
But you know what? Look, I think that we shouldn't hold anybody up right
At
now.
all. No.
Oh, the last thing is, look, you guys like this podcast.
Yep.
We like doing the podcast.
We do.
We think you guys like watching us,
Maybe.
and we think that maybe you guys might want to support us.
Inshallah.
So if you do want to support us, if you do want to donate,
Yes.
you guys can send to our Cash App.
Yep.
What's our Cash App, Mo?
It is Young and Muslim. Young, the letter N, Muslim. So it's just like our Instagram and Twitter.
Exactly.
We keep it
Except
pretty
it has
simple.
like the little dollar sign at the beginning. So you
yeah.
guys feel free to send us donations to keep this podcast rolling.
Mhm.
We're not begging you for money,
No.
but we do appreciate all of you guys listening. And this wouldn't be possible without your help, whether it be you spreading the word or whether it be through your donations. We have received donations from people just on the slide, but we want to put it out there that you guys can't send us donations. So we appreciate you listeners. I feel like PBS right now.
Not only that, we want to be transparent of where the money goes. So when we got money in the past, we used that for equipment. We upgraded and went from having one camera to a few, and we ended up having to go from a smaller audio box to a larger one to accommodate our guests. So there has been some expansions, and then so I would say majority of it is for the equipment. That's
well, let's not get it twisted.
In the beginning,
biggest,
it was equipment.
The beginning is where we got the biggest donation because that was what allowed us to even start.
Exactly.
We bootstrap this. We get a lot of people that ask us like, how do we do the podcast? How do we start it? How do we keep it rolling? It's a lot of hard work.
After
obviously.
it started, we definitely
we've put a lot of our own funds into it, and it's cool. Like we love doing this. I would do this the same way 100 more times.
Absolutely.
But we want to let you guys know that hey, we love doing this, and we love you guys' feedback. We love interacting with you guys, and we want to keep that rolling. And may it long continue, God willing. Amen. So send us donations if you're inclined. It could be $1, it could be $1,000. I mean, if it's $1,000, you might even be able to get on the podcast. Matter of fact, you will get on the podcast. So yeah, just wanted to put that out there for you guys for your information, for you to be able to decide whether you want to or not. It's like my 8th grade science teacher used to say, you can make it a good day or not. The choice is yours. Ooh. Actually, no, that was middle school. That was all middle school at the end of the morning announcements. It has nothing to do with what we just talked about, but it just came to mind anyway. Let me stop rambling.
It's something great to take with you.
Yeah, it's something great to take with you.
So
the choice is yours.
Yes, I think that is the latest and greatest that's going on with us. Anything new that we got coming up?
Stay tuned on our Instagram and our Twitter because we have so much amazing things coming out.
And on YouTube as well, bro.
And our YouTube.
Got a lot going on
the
YouTube.
Vlogs. So we have a couple of vlogs that are going to be dropping very soon. We have one that we took a trip to Philly, so you'll see us interact with this man Tone Trump. He's doing amazing
behind the scenes work.
Yeah, and then you'll be able to see us out at Camp Khalil. All the fun that we had there, it was sick. You know the vibes. And then you'll also be able to see us on our journey when we go to other places because we want to take you guys behind the scenes and not just talk about it, but actually be about it. So if you're with it, subscribe, like the Younger Muslim Podcast. And
stay with us.
Hey,
stay with us.
So for the last hour and 2 minutes and 30 seconds, you have been listening to the Young and Muslim Podcast. I'm Jabril Salam
and Muhammad Hassan.
And we greet your degrees of peace.
Assalamu
alaikum.
Thank y'all.
Goodbye.
Peace out.
See you later.
Peace.